NBA Straya, how are you going? Does your cup runneth over? I will tell you what, this is NBA Straya. It is Wednesday Hump Day, November 13, all day, and I am your extremely handsome and excited host, James Clements. You can see my ugly mug on the panel, the official NBL Supercoach show, where I believe I play the role of Santo Chilaro. Sure, that's a deep cut for those out there as well. You can see me on the AFL Today show. Are we doing something about the schedule? I think we are. And also NFL Australia. All the good stuff. Basically, I'm here in the James Clements Memorial Excellence in Podcasting studio, aka the Sports Today studio, to talk NBA Cup. How good was that? The answer is really bloody good. Dyson Daniels is the best player in the NBA. We had an awesome Steph versus Luka battle. You had a bunch of upsets. You had an absolute brain fart by Miami. It was awesome. What a day. I'm stoked. And we went 4 of 8 on the picks. So considering how many upsets there were, that's actually not that bad, I'm just saying. So we're going to talk about the NBA Cup Day 1. It was sick. So there's so much to talk about. We'll talk some Dyson Daniels, of course we will. But we'll do the game wraps. We'll do the NBA Straya approved performance of the night. We've got old mate, no mates. We've got Spud of the night. We've got better than Lonzo Ball. It's just good to be back in the normal swing of things. We've got yeah nahs. A bunch of listener yeah nahs have all been sent in. This is awesome. We've got the unpopular opinion of the day. We've got Outback Takehouse. We're serving up a flame grilled take. We have an Andrew Gaze Great MAMBA Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. And then a pick and preview for the 11 games tomorrow. 11! What the hell, man? There's one game on Friday. Oh, but you see, Jim, on Saturday we've got NBA Cup Day 2. And we've got 20 billion games. We've got 12 games that day as well. I was like, fine, but still, you're annoying me. Anyway, let's get into it. Episode 1153 of NBA Straya. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Mitch Creek. This is Nick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya. You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the Shaq Attack.
Well, you better watch out for the Let's Do It from Dyson Daniels at the back there. Jeez, better watch out for the Dyson attack here for the Boston Celtics because they got beat by Dyson and the Hawks without Trae Young. Love that. Hey, also, you better watch out for the Shaq Attack because, I don't know, Inside the NBA was pretty good today. The snippets that I could see in between doing a bunch of other stuff. But Shaq wearing the captain's hat, same as Clay, I enjoyed that. That's a good bit of humour. Everybody could have a laugh at that. And he's doing his weird little Popeye thing, which is just weird. Because at this point, who actually, like under the age of me, remembers Popeye? You know? Like it's almost a deep cut now, which is a bit weird, but here we are. Hey, anyway, let's do some news, and we start the show the way we start every show here at NBA Straya with the daily whoosh. It's a whip around. I've gotten really good at doing that, considering my, half my mouth was chopped open earlier this year. Remember that? That sucked. Like, what a crap time that was for everybody, including me. Anyway, the news for today is pretty straightforward. Anthony Davis and his poked eye. He's okay. He's okay, folks. I know you were stressed. Anthony Davis overstating an injury? I would never have thought to have seen that coming. Jeez. I've been shot. Anthony, somebody tapped you on the arm. No, I got shot. It's like, all right, shut up, idiot. Outside of this, you had, I think, Emmanuel Quickly hurt his elbow. He's out for at least a week. Christian Wood, what ScoMo's got for, what do you have? I don't know. Fossil fuels. Just being a dead shit. I don't know. Christian Wood, though, is going to be out for a little bit longer, which sort of sucks because you got to keep forgetting that he's an NBA player, which is perfectly fair because he's not ever really doing much. But I think he just sort of had a setback, which is sort of, he had like a left knee sort of thing. And he's being scaled back. So it's like, the Lakers are like, oh, we've got no reinforcements coming. And it's like, if the reinforcements were Christian Wood, you were already rooted. Other sad news and lack of reinforcements, the Pelicans, they're already out like half their bloody team. And now Grand Theft Jose Alvarado is off as well. He's pinged a hammy. I was watching that one yesterday and they're like, oh, and there goes Jose. And you're like, oh, jeez. And he's like grasping his hammy. He's like, I think that might be a hammy. And they're like, I think that might be a hamstring. It's like, no shit, Sherlock. Not a medical doctor. But when you grasp at your hammy, it tends to be a hammy. So 6 weeks, that sucks. Because they're already just cooked. And they traded away the NBA's best player, Dyson Daniels. Sucked in, Pelicans. You galaxy brained yourself. Outside of this, I guess we had a really, really great day of the NBA Cup. How good was it to see all those bloody just insane, awesome courts? If your answer is anything but fucking awesome, Jim, shush, you miserly bastards, because I love the NBA Cup and the Chaos courts. I love the blue ones. I love the red ones. I love the green ones. What I fucking do not like is the boring-ass grey ones. Fucking try, you cowards. Oh, it's a testament to shut up. That's what it's a testament. It's a testament to you being a fucking coward. That's what it is. Oh, yeah, the grey is just like it fits. I don't care that it fits nicer. Everybody else is doing cool shit. You look like fucking cowards by having a grey court. Fucking sack up and have some colour in there. Everybody's got sick colours in the NBA. Don't fucking piss this shit up against the wall. Oh, grey. That'll be fine. Fuck off, nerds. I hate it. Even the blue ones look cool. Like, the fucking green one for the Celtics was awesome. Like, and the weird, I guess we had, 8 games today. So, I haven't even started the rant about fucking League Pass. I've got that one in the back pocket for whenever I'm just running short of material. Jim, do you ever run short of material? No, but still. League Pass, it gives you the multi-view when you're on your laptop. It actually worked for a second there on the TV. Has anyone noticed that? Like, it worked for a second there on the TV like last week, and then I think I broke it. And then they've never offered it again on the telly. But anyway, so the multi-view, you're like, this is awesome for NBA Cup because you've got all these different fucking courts. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that's blue, 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 grey, fuck you, grey. But then we had like green, blue, blue, blue. I'm like, this is fun, kind of cool. We had some really good courts, had some sort of fucking mediocre ones. I cannot wait for Saturday when they just go fucking hammer and tongs on like 12 different courts and everyone's going to be like, the courts are different in the NBA Cup. And it's like, yeah, and it's fucking rad. I love this shit. As I've said before though, and we'll get to this in Outback Takehouse, I've got some other ideas for the NBA Cup. Just some other good ideas. Just saying. They're rehashes of last year's ideas, but still, they're good. I enjoyed it immensely. And the cool thing was, before we jump into these game wraps, there is an overarching theme from today's game. Even like producer Gerald's like, hang on a second, are they all fucking trying harder? And I'm like, yes, they are. That's the good thing about the NBA Cup. It incentivizes you to not fucking just like roll over and show your belly even if you're getting your heads kicked in. Because there's point differential. All the points matter. Every possession actually suddenly matters a little bit more, and it's rad. And I have always hated the fucking, yeah, look, just the unwritten rules of the game are if you're kicking our fucking heads in, don't keep doing it. What? That is the most cowardly fucking bullshit you've ever. It's not the fucking East Keeler under 14s. Like, what are we doing here? Are we playing? You're being fucking paid the same amount as those dudes. You're all being paid to play professional basketball. Play to the fucking final whistle or fuck off. Simple as that, right? And I love this about the NBA Cup. Atlanta came at absolute hammer and tongs. Detroit, no fucking round. It was even Toronto at the end of that Milwaukee game. Like, that got a bit fucking squirrely. And you're like, oh, Milwaukee weren't paying attention. And even, it's actually the same thing with the Jazz and fucking Suns. John Collins at the top just went, fucking, I'm just going to keep shooting threes. They're not doing anything about it. And then the fucking Suns like, hang on. A, this is too close now. What the fuck? And B, oh yeah, point differential against the Jazz. We might have fucked this. Because that's it. If you all beat the Jazz and like you've beaten the Jazz by like the least amount, suddenly it becomes a bit fucky when it comes to your wild cards and you're like, who gets out of the fucking like actual groups stage and shit. So just saying, it was great. Enjoyed it. The basketball ruled. But we could always make it better. Right, let's do some game wraps real quick. This is our thing now. We're going to do real quick game wraps, he says, before launching the 20 minutes of game wraps. No, I'll keep it quick. Hey, Atlanta-Boston was awesome. The Hawks win at 117-116 despite being 16.5-point underdogs this morning. They win it outright. That's just incredible. Oh, geez, Jim, was it all the NBA Cup? Not really. It was a lot of turnovers thanks to Boston. But most of those turnovers are caused by Dyson Daniels being the world's best NBA player. He's got arms, the fucking go-go gadget arms that reach from here to fucking mentone, which is a while. And, like, it's incredible. Like, I think I retweeted the fucking, there's like one play. And he's just a pain in the ass. The entire possession. Like, ball handler bringing it up the court. He's in their shit. He knocks it out of bounds. They inbound it. He annoys the shit. He taps it out of their fucking hands again. They throw it over here. He's still hounding the next dude. He switches. He's hounding another motherfucker. It's the same possession. It's sick. I loved it. He's a fucking havoc causer. He's more Dennis the Menace than you could ever imagine. I love this. Jaylen Brown had 37 points in this game. He had a chance at the game winner and missed it. Do you reckon Jason Tatum's like, there you go. Just saying. It's not that easy, is it? Speaking of Jason Tatum, he goes 2 of 9 from downtown. His last 3 that he missed was the most made shot that I've ever seen not be made. Like, it was just like, it went bung, dun, 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 down, and then somehow it just went pop and popped out. You're like, what the fuck, man? It would have been really shitty if you'd bet Jason Tatum to hit 3 threes. Anyway, Boston were up by 15 points in the third quarter, and then they lost. How did that happen, Jim? They hit like one of their weird sort of, I guess this is the thing when you got Porzingis as well. They hit just like a little pause in their scoring for a couple of minutes. And Atlanta just sort of clawed all the way back very, very quickly. There was just like threes dropping. It was like, oh shit, here they come. And like Boston never looked like they were that fucking like stressed. And they should have been because they weren't making enough shots, especially down the stretch. And it came right down to the fucking wire. And Atlanta get the Onyeka Okongwu putback. And boom. Like, you've got fucking our man Jalen Johnson in one shoe. Like, causing up and getting rebounds, like blocking shots. He had like his shoe on, like, they're like, he's wearing it like a slipper. It's like, yeah, he was. And he blocked the fucking shot. That's insane. Anyway, Boston, you completely cooked that. Tatum, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. Very nice. Derek White, 7 of 12 from downtown. He was awesome. He hit 10 of 15. He had 31, 6 and 5. That's unreal. The big problem was everybody the fuck else for Boston, right? Like, they're deep, they're good. Atlanta did not have Trae Young. I don't think I've bashed that point home enough. They didn't have Trae Young, and they look fucking rad. Zachary Risachet was not hitting that much either. It was just kind of everybody just doing enough, and Larry Nance just going, hang on a second, I'm Larry Nance Jr., noted 3-point sniper. He went 5 or 6 from 3. It was fucking stupid. Meanwhile, you got Drew Holiday not hitting any threes. He goes 2 of 5 from the floor. Above average Al Horford, 2 of 4. Peyton Pritchard, 2 of 8. And as I mentioned, 2 of 9 for your man Tatum. As a team, they shot 18 of 45. They took only 75 shots. That's a pretty fucking big percentage of your overall shots, 45 to 30. So 45 with 3-pointers, 30 with 2s. They turned the ball over 20 times. That's the kick in the dick. And they also got out-rebounded by 11, which is probably the other thing to keep in the back of your old noggin there about Boston. Because you don't have the zinger. He's not exactly the world's greatest rebounder, but just saying, it was a bit funky, bit wonky. Anyway, that's Boston. 20 turnovers really fucked them up. The Hawks, anytime you get the other team hits 8 more threes than you usually lose, but they went 10 to 32. They shot 50% from the floor, but the out-rebounding was big. The lack of turnovers was big because they had 25 more shots than Boston did. 25. And they won by 1 point. That's insane, isn't it? It's because they barely got to the line. Dyson Daniels, the best player in the NBA, 28 points, a career high. Claps. That's fucking awesome. He beat his previous career high by 10. That's not beating your previous career. That's taking it out behind the woodshed and fucking 2 in the back of the noggin. That's unreal. 12 of 21 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 bloody steals. Dyson Daniels taking the piss. I love that. Jalen Johnson got a triple-double, 18, 13, and 10, just in 1.5 shoes, apparently. 19 for Larry Nance, as I mentioned, 5 or 6 from 3. Noted sniper, sure. And Clint Capella had 18 and 9. Incredible upset win for the Atlanta Hawks. Love this. This is why the NBA Cup rules. This throws that entire group into fucking turmoil. Because Atlanta's now beaten fucking Boston. They had the worst odds to come out of this entire group, did Atlanta. They've beaten the favorite. Boston are now, oh shit, we have to win out and hope that the Cavs kick the fuck out of the Hawks and we're still good enough to get through. This could fuck up Boston for the entire cup. I love it. I love the NBA Cup. It is radical. Boston are now 9 and 3 overall, and Atlanta 5 and 7. Watch out now. Not bad. Hey, Charlotte got their heads kicked in by fucking Orlando. Of course they did. Geez, Jim, did you pick Charlotte? Yep, don't pick Charlotte away from home. I'm dumb. I talked myself into it yesterday. I figured they'd put up a fight. Orlando not on a back-to-back, but look, they had sort of figured out how to play without Paolo. We understand that. They ripped off a 30-7 run across the second and third quarters that just put this fucking to bed. Like, it was embarrassing. There was a couple of embarrassing games today. This was one of them. So 114-89. Charlotte never had a hope. It was weird. LaMelo ends up with 35, 7, and 6, and nothing else. Grant Williams had 15 and 4. If Grant Williams is your second best player, you're fucked, mate. Brandon Miller couldn't hit a shot at all. 3 of 18. He's going to pop up again in a second. But no Miles Bridges, that piece of shit, but still handy basketball player. Taj Gibson scored like their first point. And you're like, remember? Taj Gibson's on this team? Bloody hell. And Josh Green literally has not hit a shot for a week. He went 0 of 1. It's breaking my heart. But that team also has this moment of like, oh, yeah, we're pretty thin, and if we're not playing at home, we're a bit shit. They had 22 turnovers. Yeah, not great. Orlando, meanwhile, just went, hey, look at this. It's Franz Wagner. Hello. He had 32, 8, and 5. Absolutely crushed it. 14 and 25 from the floor. Jalen Suggs was really good. He had the 17, 4, and 4. 18 and 5 for Big Mo Wagner and his big pumpkin head. And they dominated them. Johnny Isaac was causing when you watch a game with Johnny Isaac in it, you're like, the counting stats aren't quite there. But when Charlotte were trying to score, he's like, nah, not today, folks. Just, nah, fuck off. Come on. He changed 3 different shots in one possession one time. I'm like, that is just, you're fucked. And I don't think he got credited with a block or anything for any of them. That's just how good he was. He only had 2 steals and 1 block. He had 7 points, 4 rebounds. He was a plus 12 in 14 minutes. That's a fucking impact. There you go. 11 turnovers to 22 makes a big difference. Charlotte dropped to 4 and 7. Orlando, that's a good bounce back. 6 and 6. Love to see that. Miami, Detroit, let the chaos reign. Detroit win it 123-121 in overtime. There goes my hero. He nearly won this game, but he didn't. Got him to overtime by hitting a fucking flurry of threes out of absolutely nowhere. I'm like, Detroit got this salted away. They're up 10. Only a couple of minutes to go. You're laughing. Then boom. You're like, oh, overtime. I bet Detroit. This sucks. And then the end of this game. An all-time calamity for the Miami Heat, who, with 1.8 seconds remaining, having the lead, Miami, then proceed to give up an inbounds pass, alley-oop dunk that quite literally made me gasp. I don't know if I've ever gasped before watching basketball, but I quite literally went, as it was happening, I went, I'm like, oh shit, I can't believe that happened. I gasped. What? It was that good. It was that insane. I loved it. Holy shit, the Duran, oh my God. And then, calamity. Because fucking all-mate brain genius Eric Spoelstra's like, time out! And they're like, you don't have any, dickhead. He's like, oh, I've Chris Webbered it. Fuck. So, free throw, boom. Detroit now are in the lead And because that was a tech foul, Spo's trying to fucking send in Kevin Love. It's like, it's their ball, you idiot. And they're inbounding it. They have to foul. The game is double over now. Sucked in, Miami. It was 40 for Hero. He tried his hardest to win this. Don't get me wrong. 20 and 12 for Bam. He was fantastic. The biggest thing in this game, though, it was early. Tim Hardaway just getting absolutely fucking quithacked twice. Well, actually kind of 3 times, I guess. He gets fucking absolutely steamrolled in a charge, wangs his head on the ground, and then later, elbow to the fucking chops from Bam and wangs his head on the ground again. His dad, Tim Hardaway the Greater, is sitting in there like watching, and he's like, this is against my old team. Who do I fight? I will fight all these motherfuckers. And you're like, yeah, Tim Hardaway could probably still take all you motherfuckers as well, just saying. It was unreal. But very sad because he had to get taken off in a wheelchair. And we finally found out, though, they did an MRI. His bonce is okay. He needs some stitches in his jaw, but you're probably just going the concussion protocol. So, yeah, nothing too serious at the moment, but fucking hell, it was scary. Anyway, tough one for Tim Hardaway, the lesser. Anyway, Pistons won it. 20 and 12 for Bam. Jaime Jaquez with 14. Duncan, 14 as well. Terry Rose. I didn't bring up the tweet from the lady who was like, hey, if Miami win, it's because of me, because I rooted Terry Rozier. And you're like, oh, good on you. I think she was, she actually said, like, you can thank my throat. And you're like, Jesus Christ, lady. Not in front of the children on the internet. Though they won't be allowed to be on the internet anytime soon, I guess. But still, you're like, God damn it, woman. Like, all right. Are we going to brag about that now? Okay, that's fine. Like calls it like you sees it, I guess. I fucked Terry Rozier, therefore they're going to win. They lost. So we're not thanking her today, I guess. She might have been not giving that good one. Got a huck to on that thing. Anyway, Pistons 21-7-9 for Cade Cunningham. Jaden Ivey fouled out with 19-9-7 because he's really good. They missed him down the stretch, but Cade carried them a little bit there. 8-11-5 for Duran with 2 blocks. He was really, really surprisingly good in his return from his bung ankle. 18-7-4 for Tobias Harris. Hey, Tobias, can you get us 18 points? He's like, you got it, boss. 18 points on the nail. Nothing more, nothing less. You're like, all right, thanks. Beasley had 21. He was fantastic. 13-10 for Beef Stew, though, who was fucking really good at the end of this game. So Miami dropped to 4-6. Just saying, we did our power rankings video. I don't think they're good. Without Jimmy Butler, they're even more cooked. I just don't think they're good. And Detroit, 5-7. And what do I say about the NBA Cup? Chaos reigns. This is fucking absolute. Talk about throwing a chainsaw in a hot tub. That's what this fucking Pistons just did. Like, that group is fucking chaos now because Detroit, in terms of all the teams in those groups who are going to go through whatever, like who you liked, who were the favorites, Detroit are in the same group as Indy, Miami, Milwaukee, and Toronto. So Toronto is shit. We get that. Milwaukee win that game. Indy chaos. That's why I tipped Indy. I just don't like Miami. I can't believe that they were the favorite. Detroit beat them. Miami's cooked to basically win the group now, so let's go. Chaos. Good stuff. Speaking of Milwaukee, Toronto, this was a shit game. 85-99. Milwaukee, good get-right spot for the Bucks. Without Dame, Toronto just even a rough-looking starting lineup for the Raptors at this point. Teenage Mutant, Jakob Poeltl, Davian, the shit one Mitchell, RJ Barrett, who couldn't hit a fucking shot, Okjay Agbaji, and Grady, I'm BJ from the Righteous Gemstones dick. Like, that's just, in 2024, that's your starting lineup. That's so tankerific. This is chef's kiss. Bucks just kept it in arm's length the entire game. Little couple of runs from Toronto, but they don't have the horses. Too many injuries, especially without IQ. Missing Scoob, it's brutal. They shot 34% from the floor. Ugh, gross. 21 turnovers. Ugh. Dick had 32. Love that. Oh, Jim, do you love that, Dick? Love this one. Sure. Poeltl 13. RJ Barrett 3 of 14 from shooting. Just horrible. Milwaukee 23-7-4. I said there'd be a massive Giannis game. He didn't need to. Like, he was pushing a little bit towards the end. He's like, fucking, they keep scoring. Can we just make sure they're dead and buried? Like, they got it back to 8 and shit like that. And he was fine. 13 for Lopez, 12 for AJ Green. Just, he gives them so much speed. They look so much better. Bobby Portis had 17 and 8 off the bench as well. And Ryan Rollins had 12. And you're like, all right. I don't know if you're Henry Rollins' son, but here we are. Toronto 2 and 10. Yeesh. And 3 and 8 for Milwaukee. It is Algonquin for the good land today because you got to win in the NBA Cup. Hey, Phoenix beat Utah 121-12. Suns controlled this game from the get-go, basically. Utah just, it's like 100% holding like your little nephews, pushing away their head, and they're like swinging at you underneath. And you're like, I do that to the squid all the time as well. He's like, Dad, stop it. I'm like, go on, do something, pal. Do something. Because before I fucking blink, he'd be bigger than me, he can beat the shit out of me. So I'm just, making sure I can torment him while I can. That's just good fathering, I think. Yeah. It did get interesting in the end. And this is what I mentioned earlier, right? Every possession counts. Because John Collins was like, fuck it, I'm shooting threes. And he kept hitting them. And you're like, oh. And I think there was an offensive foul called on JC as Jordan Clarkson, another JC, was shooting a three that would have cut it to from 7 to 4, I think, right at the end. And you're like, fucking watch out. And then the Suns steadied, win by 8, 121-12. But this is it, NBA Cup. You got to treat all these last possessions fucking the same as you would usually anything else. So it was pretty good. Point differential, baby. But that was a good win for the Suns without KD. They sort of spread the love a little bit more. Devin Booker took a step up. Beal actually hit some shots, and away they go. John Collins ends up with 29 and 9 for the Yaz. Lowry was 17, 2 and 5. Shot 7 and 13. He's sort of still slowly working back. Sexman, the Sexton, 15 on 14 shots. Clarkson, 16 and 8. Keontae had a really rough one, 4 of 12 for 9, 5 and 4. But the big one for them was Filipowski. He was absolutely flying. 18 and 6 with 2 assists and 2 blocks. He looks great. Anyway, Suns, 18 of 39 from downtown. Booker had 31. He hit 5 threes. Beal hit 4 threes. He had 24, 3 and 4 for Brad Beal. Plumlee filling in for Nurk, 15 and 14. Jesus. For a bloke who looks exactly like my youngest brother, that's impressive. And Grayson Allen had 15 as well. He hit a couple of threes. Utah dropped to 2 and 8. They are bad. 9 and 2 for Suns. They are good. Minnesota just didn't show up to Portland. I mean, they played, but they weren't there in spirit. You know what I mean? 122, 108. They were just shit from the get-go. And this is what I said. I said this the other day, right? Like, Minnesota might have outsmarted themselves with the cat trade of like getting Julius Randle. Because you look at Julius Randle and go, fucking, yeah, I did say this the other day. He's like, Jim, he's averaging like 21 and 6. Yeah, but not all 21 6s are like equal, you know? He's just a pain in the ass. He doesn't fucking do anything when it matters. Ant-Man is like, do I even like this guy? I don't like this at all. What the fuck? And my point was, like, just go fucking trade for like any of the 70 dudes Portland have that are just handy. And Portland today went, fuck that, we're better than you. Check this out. And they killed him. Like, Minnesota were never in this. It was ridiculous. It's because the Blazers shot 62% from 3 for most of this game. It was like 12 of 20 at the half. And then you turn around, it was like 26 of, what was it? No, 12 of 20. It was like then 18 of 29. You're like, they're just never missing from 3. That makes a big difference. They missed a couple at the end, so it ends up at like 18 of 32. But still, you're fucking taking the piss. Great game from them. Wolves, I'm officially getting worried. Because it's games like this, and this is what I've fucking hit on already, like the last 2 weeks. The inconsistency fucking kills you. And like, I get that you're figuring it out. You don't have Karl Anthony Towns anymore to push around. You ain't got me to push around no more. It's like, all right, that's good, you weirdo. But Rudy Gobert is Rudy Gobert. That's fine. Ant-Man, fine. Mike Conley just looks Mike fucking Cookley. Like, he's fucked. And Jingles, there might be a bit of a correlation as well. When Jingles doesn't play, they lose. Get him back out there for 5 more minutes. Come on. But Conley's cooked. It gives you like a couple of like flashes, but otherwise you're like, is Nicky Alexander Walker better for this team? He might be. McDaniels is fine, but he had 17 today. Naz Reid was really good off the bench, 28 and 6, but that's because they had nothing else going. Like Ant-Man had 26 points. He had 0 rebounds and only 3 assists. Like, this is not the MVP jump that I was expecting from Ant-Man. He shot 8 of 19. 4 of 10 from downtown. Ugh. Blazers, 28, 1 and 8 for Jeremiah Grant. Shaden Sharp had 17. He's been a fucking breath of fresh air for them too. Anthony Simons left this game hurt though, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. I love me some Penny Simons. 17, 4 and 5 for Denny Avdija though. Not bad. He's feeling it. He had a sick block late. Time Lord, though. Robert Williams is back. 19, 9, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. No, wait. Yeah. 3 steals, 3 blocks. I think that's what it was. No, I already said that a rebound. 19 and 9, 3 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Fucking hell. Like, they've got so many fucking centers on that team. And Time Lord's like, essentially, they're just like, fuck it, we're not going to play Donovan Clingan anymore. And Time Lord's like, trade me, please. I'm awesome. Check this out. And everyone's like, fuck, he is pretty good. So anyway, Scoot had 14, 4 of 6 from 3 from Delano Banton. He hadn't missed early. Same with Tumani Kamara as well. Like, they're just, Phoenix is full of dudes like that. We're like, you're good sometimes. And then they just pop up and go, I'm fucking rad. Anyway, Minnesota dropped to 6-5. And Portland to 4-8. I'm getting worried about Minnesota. Just saying. Just saying. And then finally, let's do it. Dallas Golden State. How sick was this game? The return of Klay Thompson and all the fucking fun like sailor hats. Back and forth game. Crazy first half. Luka had 22 in the first half. It sometimes feels like that's a bad thing. He's like, yeah, playing great. I'm fucking awesome. He ends up with 31. I'm just saying, 9 points in a half is a bit shit, Luka. What are you doing? Lift your fucking game. Klay at 11. He was fucking blowing the doors down at times. It was awesome. Kyrie got going, and that really got Dallas back into the game in the third quarter because the Warriors just came out the second half and fucking just started kicking heads in. It was sick. Dallas came flying back. We get it all tied up. Dallas get up 7 with 4.5 minutes to go. And you're like, oh, here we go. Boil over. But NBA Cup, baby. How good is this? A 10-0 Warriors run. Steph has just turned into fucking Super Saiyan Steph again. Love that. And boom, they're up. And then fucking Q Grimes out of nowhere hits a 3. And it's a 1-point game. Curry hits 2 free throws. And you're like, this is, ooh, here we go. It's set up to go to overtime. And Luka takes the shittest 3-point shot you'll ever fucking see. Misses everything, game over. And you're like, what, dude? You were 2 of 9. You got Klay Thompson for a fucking reason. Kyrie Irving. What? Dude, you've not had it in the entire half. What are you doing, Luka? And it's like the one thing, time and time again, like that playoff run last year was so good, but Luka would still have these moments where you're like, can you just, I don't know if you are always the best option. Like, I love you, Luka, but fucking hell. It was a shockingly shit shot. Anyway, he ends up with 31, 8, and 7, but as mentioned, 22 in the first half. They're obviously not in the game without him. Like, don't get me wrong. But that was down the stretch. It was just fucked. Klay, 6 of 12 from downtown, which is hilarious in his return. That was great. Draymond was all excited about it all. 22 points for him. Kyrie, 21 and 6. Lively, 12 and 8. 15 and 6 for Gafford. The size worked until it didn't. Like, the oop to Lively was or to Gafford, whatever it was, to get them up 7 with 4.5 minutes left. It was looking great, and then it just sort of fell apart. Steph made it fall apart because he went Super Saiyan. It was unreal. 37 points, 5 of 12 from downtown, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. He was doing everything. It was incredible. Because, 16 for Cumdog. You had 14 for Buddy Hield. 11, 7, and 6 with 3 steals and 2 blocks for Draymond. Andrew Wiggins went completely fucking MIA. D'Anthony Melton had 14 as the starter. Like, very cool. But wow, it's a huge win for the Warriors. It was epic. It ruled. That game was sick. If you're going to go back and watch it, watch it. I implore you. That was fun as hell. Dallas. Starting to get worried about Dallas as well because they're now 5 and 6. The Warriors are 9 and 2. And the Warriors are like they're a machine. We get that. The Mavs have now lost 3 straight to fellow Western Conference contenders. They've lost to the Suns, the Nuggets, and the Warriors this week. I know that they're still sort of figuring shit out because they've got Klay Thompson, but it's like, yeah, hitting threes is good, but you got to outscore these teams. And if Luka's going to have like these weird shit fucking halves, it's a bit of a fucking problem. Anyway, let's do an NBA Straya approved performance of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
The vacuum. Dyson Daniels, 6 steals. You're taking the piss, Dyson. 28 points, a career high. Love that. 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 6 steals. Absolutely unreal. The best player in the NBA right now. Maybe except for Steph Curry. 37 points. As I mentioned, 5 of 12 from downtown, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. Absolutely fucked up the Mavs down the stretch. It is so, like, when he does the go to sleep, no. It is unreal. Like, we are living in amazing times where we're still getting this in 2024. Like, the Warriors have been an ascendant team for a decade. Like, it's just awesome that he's still doing this. And we get to watch it in an NBA Cup game, fucking the Mavs up. Like, it was just fucking awesome. Like, there's not going to be too many games like this that left in his career, so enjoy them while we can, I guess. Loved it. Hey, Jim, did you like that game? Yeah, it was pretty fucking good.
Spud of the night.
Had plenty of spuds as well, I tell you that much. I told you about Brandon Spindles-Miller, 3 of 18 against Orlando. Jesus. 7 assists, 5 turnovers. Brutal. He went 1 of 11 from 3. And that's always one of my favorite ones. Like, you're 3 of 18. At what point do you go, I've had enough? Is it after 15 shots? Clearly not. All of Philly are spuds of the night. If you're not named Jared McCain, Paul George, or Caleb Martin. Did I skip over that? I skipped that game. I totally fucking skipped that game. New York and fucking Philly. New York smashed them. Doesn't matter. Can't believe I skipped that. Knicks, 111. Philly, 99. Huge run for Philly at the end of the third to get it to a 1-point game. Knicks responded, went, fucking, we're shutting it down. Blow it out your ass. Got back up 11-12, cruise from there. Really good egalitarian win from the Knicks. Like, everybody did a bit of something, whereas Philly, Joel Embiid comes back, had 13 and 5, shot 2 of 11. He couldn't even do the special number. You break him heart. 23 for Jared McCain. Awesome. Paul George, 7-11 from 3, 29. Everybody else, Caleb Martin, 7 and 4 steals. Everyone else shit house. Knicks, Cat good. 21, 13, and 6. Hart had a triple-double thanks to a very generous assist at the very end. 14, 12, and 10. 18, 3, and 5 for Brunson. Bridges, 14. OG, 24. That's exactly what the Knicks need. They need that egalitarian offense. Everybody sort of basically contributing, and they fucking smash Philly. Philly 2 and 8. Knicks 5 and 5, I want to say. Can't believe I skipped straight over that. My brain just went, nope, don't want to read about that one because Philly were bad. Yeah, 5 and 5, the Knicks. Good win. Anyway, the spud of the night, everybody of the fucking Sixers not named McCain, Paul George, or Caleb Martin, because Joel Embiid, 2 of 11, 1 of 5 for Big Booty Kyle Lowry, 1 of 6 for Kelly Oubre, and 1 of 7 for Yabusele. I'm no math magician, but that's 5 of 29. And 2 of 16 from 3. Oh, that is just fucking gross. Unbelievably shit. We had Anthony Black go 3 of 12. We had, well, I don't want to really dump on the young fellas too much, but we also had a couple of other, 3 of 14 stinkers, which is always, like, that's just a big number. Like, Terry Rozier goes and stinks it up, as mentioned. It was just a pretty big day for the Spuds, where we go the Brandon Miller, 3 of 18, the 2 of 11 for Joel Embiid. RJ Barrett had that 3 of 14. So did Terry Rozier. Keaton Wallace had 3 of 13, and Anthony Black goes 3 of 12. And yet nobody hit the fucking magic number. What a weird day. I'll tell you that much. It's bloody weird. Either way, lots of Spuds there. Get stuck in. Can't believe I forgot the Knicks fucking Sixers game. Hey, old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no
mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? Eric Spoelstra. That was just absolutely just a brain fart of all brain farts at the end of that Miami game, right? After the timeout, bloody awesome inbounds pass from Cade to Duran. Off we go. Then he calls the timeout because he's pissed off. Doesn't have any left. Tech foul. Pissed off. They take the lead, the Pistons, off you go. And then he tries to sub in Kevin Love for the full court heave, but they don't have the ball. Detroit have the ball. Spo, what the fuck is going on, man? So, yeah, a bit of old mate, no mate. You get back on the bus and go, yeah, good game today, coach. Yeah, good one. Yeah, no, it's cool. Next time you fucking rag on me, I'll definitely not bring this up. I'm just saying. Come on. Definitely an old mate, no mates moment there. Pantsing of the night. Same exact moment. During, like, that is a pantsing. Like, as I said, I gasped as that play happened. And, like, Bam getting basically caught up on the secondary screen on the inbounds. You're like, oh, no, don't let him get past. And he got past him and just fucking rose up and skadoosh. That's a pantsing. Like, an inbounds with 1.8 seconds left. Like, cool, Cade, like, even the fucking announcers were like, yeah, there's probably not enough time for Cade to get the ball back. Oh, God, what have they done? And, like, they just fucking lost. It was sick. Good stuff there. And then finally, better than Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. He's coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Dyson Daniels, better than Bronny James, Lonzo Ball, Ben Simmons, boom, right there. 28 points, career high. 6 steals. That leaves him at 36 steals after 10 games. You know what that is? A record, because no one's done it for 20 years. It's unbelievable. That is very, 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 very neat. And I'll tell you what, we could also give this to Jalen Johnson getting the triple-double on 1.5 shoes. Franz Wagner, hello. Also better than Bronny James, Lonzo Ball, and Ben Simmons for his incredible, like, I wish he shot the three a little bit better, but he was still very, 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 very bloody good in that game and just kicking the crap out of Charlotte. So all three of them, Franz, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, all, first-round picks, but not as high as Lonzo. So I think this one counts. It's okay. And Dyson Daniels, the perfect idea. We'll talk about him again in a second when we get to yeah nahs, which will be right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to
Straya.
NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right. There we go. That was a lot of stuff that we've just sort of covered. Remember how I said I was going to make it quick? Yeah, I didn't. I just got too excited because NBA Cup rules. Let's do some yeah nahs. Brett Pierce. Brady Poo. Yeah, nah, the Bulls need to try and get Duop or Jock. It fills a need for them with their complete lack of front court depth. Adam Sanago and Jalen Smith just can't do enough. Having a big body as well as someone like Giddey is familiar enough might help correct this rubbish team. Yeah, nah. Yes, I fucking love the idea of Duop on that team. Like Jock or Duop basically obviously works. It'd cost you more to get Jock, quite literally because he has an actual proper, mid-level contract, 8.7, whatever it is mil. Whereas Duop on the two-way is probably just like, can we have him? And they're like, maybe. Second rounder is yours. But Duop spacing the floor and just sort of showing a little bit of something would be good. It would cost you less, but Jock would actually really help that team because he would play real fucking minutes. And that Chicago team has like no size. But this brought up an idea. I'm like, hang on a second. You know who needs a big man right now? OKC. Let's bloody go. So either OKC with their fucking 1 million draft picks should just go, hey, can we have Steven Adams back? Houston, please. We want him. He's ours. Remember? He was here for 1 million years. We love him. He would be so fucking good for that team. It's ridiculous. And it's going to cost you fuck all. But at the same time, that opens up backup big minutes again for our man Jock Landale in Houston. See, it's a win-win. I like that. And if we just get Duop to Chicago, that'd be fucking great. Just out there lacing fucking threes off passes from Giddey. That'd be awesome. I feel like he'd be a really good fit. But at the same time, Jock would be too. Jock would just cost you a little bit more if you're Chicago. And it feels like they don't know their ass from their elbow when it comes to team building. So here we are. But, yeah, I love that idea. Thanks, Brett. Dug that. He also did go and ask, hey, Jim, do we need a new segment for the show called Old Man Yells at Clouds because of all your rants? And I'm like, to be honest, probably. I've just been very yelly lately. I don't know why. Anyway, Zachy B. Hey, Jimmy, is Tim the lesser brave or stupid? It's a good one because the first one was a bit more stupid, I feel like, because he sort of threw his head back as he was kind of flopping and then fucking cannoned his own head into the ground as well, taking the charge. That's pretty stupid. Brave was going up against Bam and trying to do it again and getting your fucking head whacked and then copping your bonce on the floor. Like, poor bloke having to be wheelchaired off fucking sucks. So that was just like brave. First one was dumb. But yeah, pretty brutal. Zach B also then asked, hey, Dyson for most improved. Not bad, because then Benny L asked, yeah, nah, Dyson for defensive player of the year and most improved. Yeah, nah, let's fucking go. Why not? He's the best perimeter defender in the NBA right now. Well, he's the best guard defender at least. Like, he is absolutely unstoppable. And the thing is, like, we've hit on this time and time again. The Pelicans would be like, hey, when he plays lots of minutes, he's bloody good. So let's just send him back to the bench when we've got our full complement. We can only play him 7 minutes. Oh, geez, why is he not being good? We better move him along. Dumb as fuck. Like, when you've got someone that decent, I feel like you've got to go, well, what are we building here in New Orleans? Do we really need CJ McCollum? We could probably get something for him. We'll just open up some more playing time for Dyson. You know, if you had Dyson Daniels and Herb Jones and fucking all those perimeter shooters on that Pelicans team right now just playing together, unfucking stoppable. I love that idea. But anyway, Defensive Player of the Year, Benny L. And Zachy B says most improved. Why not both? Let's lift them up. Lift Dyson up. Why not both? Defensive Player of the Year, as I've said before, though, I don't know if it's ever going to go to another fucking guard because of the embarrassing bounce back from Marcus Smart. But Dyson putting up just these ridiculous numbers and what we're seeing, these highlights, it's fucking crazy. Like, he's an all-defensive lock at this point, and Defensive Player of the Year, he's making a fucking run at it. Just saying. 100%. And most improved, his odds are shortening fucking pretty dramatically. Just saying, maybe worth a look. Unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
So, you know me. I've got a very, very specific idea about who I want to win most improved player. And Dyson is exactly it. Like, you're still a high draft pick, but you're not top 3. You're not top 4. I feel like my cutoff is top 5, top 6. And Dyson's just outside of that. He's been given a bit of a chance. The thing is, not only is he just playing more minutes, but he's obviously demonstrably fucking better at basketball, right? Like, that's the entire thing. It's like, why Tyrese Maxey wins fucking most improved is beyond me. It's like, he played 1 millionth minutes. He was just as good as he was the year before. He played a snick more minutes, and boom, he's still fucking doing really well and like he's an all-star. Yeah, no shit. But like, on the parabolic curve of how much, here we go, math magician, of how much he improved. Like, it wasn't a giant swedge of improvement from where he started, right? I want to see the one who is like actually improved from where he started at this, like, you know, from last year to this year. How much has he actually demonstrably improved? And Dyson just going, just play me more, coach, and I will ruin everybody I play's fucking life. And that's what he's doing. That's wildly improved, you know? Like, Şengün is pretty similar as well, actually, last year. And that's why I liked him for most improved last year, because he's like, hang on a second, I'm fucking good at basketball. Check this out. And they went, so you are. And Jalen Williams this year, well, last year probably should have won it as well, right? Because he went from, am I good? And everyone's like, I don't know. And he's like, no, check this out, I'm fucking awesome. And they're like, oh, shit, he is. And this year, I think I backed him as well. He was like, he's probably going to win it because of the Tyrese Maxey rule. So anyway, but Dyson should win it. Is he exactly the sort of player who should? And Defensive Player of the Year, I mean, just, I hope that the Hawks are just putting together a compilation of all of the shit that he does, because it's amazing. All right, unpopular opinion of the day. No, that wasn't the unpopular opinion of the day. How about a bit of Outback bloody Takehouse? It's Wednesday at Outback, and you know what that means? Oh, yeah. Well, dropped the squids off at daycare and school again today, but on the park on the way home, found a dead wombat. Chucked it under the pram, wheeled it home, chucked it in a bit of a barbie over the slow cooker overnight. Boom. I'm going to get home and have slow roasted wombat. You can too, and it's only at Outback. Just falls off the bone. In squares, just like its poos. It's very weird. It's very strange, but that's just nature. Anyway, today's Flame Cool Take is the NBA Cup is awesome, but it can always be awesomer. So why are we not fucking running it all the way through to the All-Star break? Why just until the fucking start of December? Why just play once? Keep it fucking going. This has been my point from he's lost the voice, but either way, this is my point from last year. Because it's these one games, it's like, oh yeah, but it makes every game mean more. Yeah, for 4 games. Until you get to the knockout stage, and then you're fucking done. Like, most of these teams are fucking just like back to their regular season shit. These should be scattered November, December, January, February. If you want to make fucking March basketball interesting again, or even January basketball interesting again, just run it through to then. Or if you want to get it really fucking cool and shit, even just to fucking New Year's Day. If you want to own like Christmas Day, cool. That's great. I guess in the States, they've got all the fucking college football bowl games and shit because they're fucking weirdos who love amateur sports. Oh, it's not amateur anymore. They get paid. Yeah, but they're fucking all kids. It's weird. It's shit. Whatever. Point being, run it longer because this is radical, right? Like we got one awesome day and it's going to be gone before we fucking notice because they only play each other fucking, 4 games in the group games. And then you're through to the knockouts. It's, oh, we love the knockouts though. These are basically knockouts at this point, which is great. Extend that a little bit more so we've got more of a sample size about who in each of these groups is actually better. That builds up the rivalries in these groups as well. Off we fucking go. Extend it out. We're way more invested in the outcome of it all. We get to see the cool courts a little bit more. Bang! Off we go. And also on top of that, give us different balls. That's the takehouse. Give me an ABA ball. What was the other thing we had? The home court gets a chance. They get to choose. Oh no, the visiting team gets to choose the type of ball. Like, you can have the bright green fucking Mountain Dew ball. You can have the ABA ball. Let's get fucking weird. It's the NBA Cup. I don't want to call it its full name. Just like Emirates NBA Cup. I'm not sponsored by shit, so fuck them. NBA Cup. Let's go. I'm ideas, man. I'm just saying, NBA, bring me on board. Low 6-figure salary. Off we go. I'm your man. Vice President of Common fucking sense. Different balls. Run it longer. It's not rocket surgery. All right. Let's take a quick break. Be back at the Australian Player Watch. Actually, we'll just go straight into it. Bloody hell. Let's just keep punching through. Time for the Australian Player Watch for Wednesday, November 13, aka day 1 of the NBA Cup. How good was this? Obviously, we saw an absolute barn burner from one Dyson Daniels who set a new career high with his 28 points in 41 minutes. So he beats his old career high by 10. That's not beating it, that's kicking his head in. In 41 minutes in that huge 117-116 win over Boston. Love that. He shot 12 of 21 from the floor, only 1 of 5 from downtown. So if he actually hit his threes, he'd be laughing. 3 of 5 at the free throw line as well. He had 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 steals, bringing his total for the season to 36. That is ridiculous. He's leading the NBA in steals right now. He is crushing it. Loving this from Dyson Daniels. They did that without Trae Young as well. I'm just saying, he might be their most important player. Josh Green in a tough loss to the Orlando Magic. He played 29 minutes for the Hornets. He went 0 of 1 from the floor. That's it. He had 0 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 turnovers. It was not a banner day for Josh Green. He just looks a little bit out of sorts on the Hornets. And he also hasn't hit a shot. He's hit 1 shot in his last 4 games, which is not great. He's gone 0 of 1, 0 of 3, 1 of 2, and 0 of 4. So hopefully he gets that confidence back soon, because that is a bit tough. Jingling Joe Ingles did not play against Portland in that big, gross loss by the Wolves. I'm just saying, maybe play the jingling one. Get him out there. If you need a spark, Minnesota, that's it right there. Did not play. They lost by 14. I think he can help. Speaking of did not play, his coach's decision, Patty Mills. Patty Thrills, cop one in that Phoenix, Utah game. that his Yaz, it's a soft J, lost 120-112. And we also had another couple of Aussies copping did not plays in that Minnesota game because they played Portland. And that was Aussie Matty T, Matisse Tybal, and Duop, the Great Barrier Reef, not getting out there either. Despite it being a bit of a laugher, but I guess the thing for Duop is now that they've got Time Lord Robert Williams back as well, he sort of slips even further back down that rotation of the big men. Because, I mean, they've got Denny Avager coming off the bench. They started Donovan Clingan, and then they had Time Lord come off the bench. Aussie Matty T still coming back from his right knee injury, whereas Duop, he's just a little bit far on the rotation. It's a bit of a tough one. And that was it for the Aussies. So we had a bunch of did not plays. But Dyson Daniels, who did play, really showed out. And that is the Australian Player Watch for today. Righto. That was good. That was fun. How good's the Australian Player Watch? How about an Andrew Gaze Grey Mumber Award for outstanding achievement in the field? I believe it's in some sort of field, perhaps, of excellence.
Andrew Gaze Grey Mumba.
Outstanding achievement in, that's right, the field of excellence. We're not going to do the entire thing so we don't get flagged. But I'll tell you what, Dyson Daniels, bit excellent. He's the youngest player in NBA history to have 3 straight games with 6+ steals. That's pretty bloody excellent. He's also the 4th player to ever just do so ever. And he's the youngest. It's pretty good. Also, because he's got 36 steals through the first 10 games of the season, no one's done that in 20 years. Pretty good. Baron Davis did it in 2003, 2004. He had 37. He was a menace, Baron Davis. I love Baron Davis. But Dyson Daniels causing all sorts of havoc. That was absolutely unreal. And that is a bit of excellence from our man, Dyson Daniels. All right. How about a bit of the Paddy Mills Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in? I've also got I'm just saying, I'm flagging Time Lord being the Luke Longley Role Player of the Week award because his 19.9 rebound, 3 steal, 3 block, 9 of 10 shooting game. First bench player to do that since James Worthy in 1983. That's going to pop up again on Friday. I'm going to reuse that one because it's good. Right. What's Paddy been up to? Let's find out. Once he gets his bloody thing going. Here we go. No, Paddy. Oh, I've got Josh Giddey, though. What's he writing? Oh, there we go. First team all defense. 28-7 and 6 steals. He's big upping his mate Dyson Daniels, friend of the program, BT Dubs, Dyson Daniels. That'd be pretty good if we had an all-defensive, defensive player of the year on the show. That was good. But anyway, I love that Josh Giddey's bigging upping his mate. What a legend. That's very nice. And how about, I think we had a Jock Lando one pop up too. How's his shoulder? Oh, it looks like he's working out. It's good. Hopefully he's all right. Nothing to read there, nothing to see. Move along. Move along. All right. Good stuff there. Nothing from Paddy, though. Hopefully he's all right. All right. Let's do some game previews for a big Thursday. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How good was the NBA Cup? I now want every day to be the NBA Cup. Every day is the NBA Cup. They play for the fucking title. It's knockout. You've got to win the series or you get knocked out. Anyway, we have 11 games tomorrow. We'll see if some of these lines have moved at all. It's a big Thursday. We have Indy at Orlando. So the Magic Men. So the way the NBA Cup is structured, no team plays an NBA Cup game on the back of a back-to-back. They do, however, have back-to-backs off them. So a little bit tricky. And Indy go into Orlando with the Pacers obviously having not played today. I really like Indy in this. They were 2.5-point favorites when I last checked, and that is still the same. So I'm going to go, we went 4 of 8 today. That's what I mentioned earlier. So Indy, 2.5-point favorites. I'm going to take that. I think their speed and Miles Turner, a little bit of length, Siakam, I think they'll be a little bit too good for Orlando. It's a good matchup. It's a good game. I like that a lot. Boston at Brooklyn. After an embarrassing defeat today, do you think Boston will be out for blood tomorrow in Brooklyn? They will be. Amazingly, that line has actually gone down a point. It's now Brooklyn plus 8.5. So, do you like Boston to come out and kick the heads into that Brooklyn team? No, I think Brooklyn keep it close. That's all Brooklyn do against the good. That's what they keep on doing, right? They lose these games by 4. We might get that. This will be a tough spot for Boston after a really brutal loss. Boston will win this. Brooklyn, I think, will cover. Chicago take on the New York Knickerbockers of New York City. This has also gone down by a point. This was a 9.5-point line. It's now 8.5. The Knicks were really good against the Sixers today. Chicago coming into the Knickerbockers. If they have Levine, I don't mind Chicago to cover this line, even if the Knicks win it. The Knicks blowing the doors off Chicago on a back-to-back might be a bit tougher. We know that they're supreme athletes and like Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, like back-to-backs, playing all those minutes doesn't sort of tend to sort of hit them that hard. But it might, because I don't know, it's a bit brutal. So give me Chicago, especially if they've got Levine. I'm going to take Chicago plus 8.5. The Knicks can win that one, but it should be close. That's a great old-timey matchup as well. Cleveland go to Philly, and they are 8.5-point favorite. Oh, that's moved as well. 8.5 from 9.5. No Joel Embiid for Philly because it's a back-to-back and he's a sook. And Cleveland are going to steamroll them. Give me Cleveland minus 8.5. Philly are just bad. I don't know what to tell you. Like, Jared McCain is handy. He's fun. Big booty Cole Lowry. He's old as hell. Trying to slow down Donnie Mitchell and Darius Garland when you got Mobley and go the throw Jared Allen. We're going Cleveland. New Orleans at OKC. OKC are 14.5-point favorites because New Orleans have checks notes, no players. We're going to go OKC as well. It's so brutal. Those poor pals. Even though 14.5 is a big line at home, OKC should probably win this by 20. Clippers, Houston. Clippers have been very, very feisty, but I just don't think they're very good. Houston have lots of dudes. They're at home. I think this should be a bit of a win. They're 4.5-point favorites, which is a good line. I like Houston to probably win this by 6 or 7. Give me Houston minus 4.5. I think when you got the likes of Jalen Green who can like rip it off and just go whapang. You got Şengün up against Zoobs. You've got sort of like the long, lengthy defenders you can throw, the likes of Harden and Powell. I think the Rockets can probably get this one done at home. Prove it to me, Rockets, because they're one of those big sort of like floating question marks. I just want to see them do it against these sorts of teams. So let's do it, Houston, I believe. Detroit go to Milwaukee. It is Algonquin for the good land, or at least it was today. This was a 7.5-point line. It's now 5.5. The Bucks are favorites. Can Detroit turn around and beat the Bucks? I don't quite think so. After an emotional, awesome win, losing Tim Hardaway hurts. Means you're playing more Malik Beasley. Maybe Malik Beasley's out for blood against his old team. I think the Bucks will be a little bit too good, though. So give me Milwaukee minus 5.5. Detroit have Cade. They've got Ivy. It's a bit of speed, though. We might take the 5.5, I think, for Detroit. Because as I say, they do play teams really tough, especially teams that are ostensibly better than them. Milwaukee aren't demonstrably better than them. So we'll take the points. There you go. I talked my way into that one. It was good. Washington, San Antonio. Weird game. San Antonio should kill them. They're 7.5-point favorites. I'm taking the Spurs because Washington, what do we say? They haven't lost. And the games that they've lost, they haven't lost by less than 13 points yet. So I'm just going to take the Spurs minus 7.5. I think the Spurs will win. Therefore, it'll be more than 8 points. Spurs with their 3-point shooting as well. You know that Wemby will be out there trying to kill his mate Bilal Koulibaly and shit. And Alex Sarr. He's like, I don't like these other Frenchmen because you know what? I am French and I even hate the French. It is how it goes, huh? And away they go. So, Wemby and the Spurs, 7.5. Memphis go to the Lakers. The Grizzlies are 7.5-point underdogs, which is weird because the Grizzlies play really tough. They also sort of tend to stink every so often. But that's actually now moved to 6.5. Ooh, AD back. Memphis. Can they stick with that? Scottie Pippen Jr. out for a bit of a revenge against his old team. Memphis just play hard. I'm going to take Memphis plus 6.5, even in LA. Without Ja Morant, without Desmond Bain, you've still got Triple J and you've just got a bunch of dudes who play hard. I want the 6.5 points. Yeah. It's a wonky one to pick that one, though. Minnesota. They play Portland again tomorrow. That's a tough one. On a back-to-back. Can they win this one? How? That's 9.5? Yeesh. That was 6.5, so that's blown out, despite them getting their heads kicked in. I'm going to take Portland plus 9.5 at home. They just beat them, quite literally today. The thing is, we knew, yesterday we took Minnesota minus 9.5, and look what happened. They're definitely probably going to beat Portland by like 12 tomorrow, aren't they? Are we going to galaxy brain ourselves into this one? I think we are. We got Minnesota minus 9.5. Oh, geez, I don't like this. Good one, Jim. And then finally, Phoenix, Sacramento. So the Suns coming off a tough one. This was a 5.5 point line. It's now 7.5, and that makes a little bit more sense because I was like instantly Sacramento minus 5.5. I'll still stick with Sacramento minus 7.5. I just think without KD, the Suns, it gets a lot tougher for them to hang with like a decent team like Sacramento who can go to like Sabonis. If the Suns don't have Nurk on the back-to-back, they can go to Sabonis, the Kings. They've got DeMar. They've got De'Aaron Fox. They've got Keegs. They're a little bit deeper, a little bit more trustworthy. We're going to go Sacramento. And I think that is all 11 of the games tomorrow. That's a lot. It's going to be good. And we will wrap them all up for you on tomorrow's show because that's what we do every day here on NBA Straya. Yes, mate. How good was that? That was fun. How good is the NBA Cup? Producer Gerald loved it. I loved it. Stats Boy was running around causing all sorts of havoc and loving it. It was like a kid in a candy shop. He was just like, I don't know what to do with my hands. This is great. And then Boston lost, and I'm like, sucked in, nerd. Anyway, he's all right. But that's it. We'll be back on deck tomorrow to wrap up all 11 of those games. So make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facebook, IG, TikTok, and of course YouTube. You can go see the power rankings. They'll go up across the socials as well. Great stuff there. Always fun. Also, little bits and bobs here and there. Why not? Get around NFL Australia as well. Gaz and I did a great show yesterday. That was really fun. Week 10 of the NFL was just stupid and insane. We had some good yells. That was fun. We chop it up each week about the NFL. NFL Australia, go follow that. As well as all the other shows we've got. AFLW Today Show, the Cricket Today Podcast, the Football Today Podcast, and of course, hold all tickets for your GGs. Still spring racing. Why not get stuck in? Get around a rating and review, a starring, comments, whatever you can do to help out, just jump on board, would you? I don't ask for much. If you can make sure you're subscribed, jump in some comments on the YouTubes, whatever you need to do, please help out. It'd be awesome. I don't ask for anything. Just have a crack. Help out your mate Jim. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. Check out House Hats as well as Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinated, Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sex Jedi, Green. Dozers, that's it. For the tunes behind for all the tunes behind everything in this show. I'm running out of steam. It's been a long day. Just settle down. Smash them all on Bandcamp, Triple J and Earth, Face Apple Music, Spotify, whatever. NBA Straya supports Australian bands. So should you. That's it. That's a wrap. Good day today. We will catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? And Dyson Daniels is the best player in the NBA. Blow it out your ass. Late, Hosen.